Welcome to the Trackside Lounge, episode 9. A bit comfortable today. We're sitting down because we're old men, old farts. So one of us had an exciting time of the weekend. That's why they're sitting down. And the other one, you were commentating. So that's a different kind of fish.
I just degenerate. I need a seat. So it's something a little bit different, and I'm quite enjoying it. But I really enjoyed Saturday night at Waikaraka.
Did you?
I really enjoyed watching. Now, last week we said that the young fella's going to be going out in a 600 horsepower Toyota Starlet LS twin turbo, and he actually did turn up, and he had his gear, and he went for a ride.
I think the wildest thing, though, is when you had pictures of the little Starlet with there is nothing in the engine bay except motor and turbo.
And it's all spilling out too.
Yeah.
Like it's not even contained in the. No, Shawnee's good. The zero tires burnout Starlet. Good fun.
Okay, we all watch Burnouts, right? And we watch the cars flip around. There's big clouds of smoke. The crowds absolutely love it. But I've often wondered, what's it actually like being inside when that thing's doing it? Because there's a moment where everything disappears, right?
I mean, you don't really get to see anything because you're in clouds of smoke. And of course, he's got the exhausts out the side, so it's popping flames every once in a while, and he's got the like the black light headlights, the sort of that purplish bluish, so once you're sort of in the smoke, that's sort of giving it a nice eerie glow. But it was good fun, definitely good fun. We were sitting there waiting to go onto the pan, and the check engine light comes on. So he's got whips out his phone. It's all got Haltech gear and it's all Haltech kitted. Whips out his phone, boots up the Haltech app, and it's the throttle position sensor and these codes. He just clears the codes, and if it's anything critical, they'll come back up and I'll stop. But happy days.
Or the engine will explode and the crowd will go wild.
It'll explode. But no, it was cool. It was cool.
But the moment when the tyres let go, is that a bit of a shock? Or
you definitely know about it.
Yeah.
You definitely know about it. And the second tyre didn't even explode until after we'd finished the burnout, and we were just driving off, and it just kind of spontaneously let go.
Decided it had enough.
Just decided it had enough. But
and that's why Sean he calls it zero tyres, because when he finishes a burnout, he likes to have no rear tyres at all. And they were brand new when you went out there. They were sticker tyres. As you guys were driving out, there's stickers on the brand new tread that he gets from a sponsor and that. And it's like, and I'm sitting up there going, oh, dude, this is like, I wasn't actually 100%. I couldn't see that you were in the car. So I'm up there commentating the lane and everything. And then I saw you go around, saw your helmet. Oh, yeah, he's in there. And then all of a sudden, this cloud of smoke just comes up. And you've got some in-car footage of that. And I think now's a good time to have a little bit of a look-see at what happened from inside zero tyres.
And the thing about it was, after the burnout, so, did the burnout, that was awesome. We're sitting there, he's putting more...
that's a bit casual. did the burnout, that was awesome. Anyway, and then,
pleased the crowd, entertained everybody. But afterwards, he noticed the scales. Of course, the Speedway New Zealand, they've got their scales,
did he take
right?
it
Stock car scales.
He's never weighed the car before. And he's always said he thinks it's about sort of maybe 800, 700 kilos, because those little Starlets are not
heavy.
Big cars, right? So I went and flagged down one of the officials, just said, hey, look, is it going to harm the equipment if Shawnee goes and puts a Starlet on the scales? He goes, yeah, no, happy days, go on. It's not 800 kilos.
It's not.
It's not 900 kilos.
It's what?
It was 1,200 kilos.
That engine, it weighs a ton,
Well,
doesn't it?
twin turbo LS1, I mean, that lump alone's got to be 150, maybe 200 kilos.
Oh, easy.
And then the diff, it's got a big reinforced diff. That'd be another probably 100. So.
And this is a personal question, so I do apologise there, Shawnee, but was Sean in the car when it was weighed?
Well, was it with driver?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He did specify it was with bugger all fuel.
What I'm saying is it probably picked up a lot of dirt from the track
Oh, yeah,
as it rolled
yeah.
up because the shredding
That's
tyres
what that
picks it all
was.
up.
Yeah. So clean the car, Shawnee.
Yeah.
Try again.
But you'll find it's about 800 kilos,
yeah.
mate. Spot on. Yeah,
exactly.
no worries.
But a big shout out to you, Sean. Thanks for taking him out for a ride, and he went out for a second skid. Took someone else for a ride as well. And that's Sean is Way Too Easy Transport. So if you need a car transported up and down New Zealand, Way Too Easy. Check him out, and he does a really good job. He's actually hauled cars for us and friends and that on the past. So, and of course Zero Tyres, Burnout, Toyota Starlet. So who would have figured 1,200 odd kilos? I thought 8 or 9 as well. So
again, the KP Starlet's just such a small thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're used to them being bloody featherweights, but
That roll cage is so heavy, man.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
it's got to have it there for all the torque that gets thrust through the bodywork, so it'll actually maintain some sort of a. Gee, that sounds.
Oh,
technical,
yeah, it sounds very
sounds
technical.
like I know what I'm
It's a
talking about.
burnout car, and he's Mr. Knowledgeable.
the
But
engineering
really,
behind burnout cars.
the really cool thing was Saturday night. I love those entertainment nights at Waikaraka Park. They had the Auckland Saloon Car Champs as well. So there was a championship up there. They had
Shout out to Paul Thorley, mate.
yes,
Mind Paul Thorley.
Mr. Auckland Saloon Car Champ now.
14A, travels from Whangarei to compete at Waikaraka Park. Brings his daughter with him, Christy, who's aged out of the mini stock. So she's
That was her last meeting.
she's got
Watched
her
her
eye on
race.
Dad's car. She's got her eye on the saloon. So Paul's going to be rolling through maybe a different vehicle next year.
So it was a race meet, and there was a championship up there, but there was 40 mini stocks, and they had to qualify 15 per group to go through to the final 30, and they had a big race. It wasn't any championship on the line, I don't believe. It was just a really cool night. Track was a bit rough, but I love those sort of nights, and I'll talk about in the track in a second. But the thing about the entertainment nights, it was the demolition derby at the end. They had the burnouts going on there. We had a bit of a format going. Had some guys out there. Had a guy in a Husky as well, Husky van, Hillman Husky,
Oh, yeah.
where they were doing burnouts. Had a guy in a Commodore Ute, beautiful turned out Ute there, and of course Shawnee was the Three Stooges. But then it was just an entertainment night. There was a rat rod going around there with flames out the exhaust. They had the fireworks there. I love those nights, and Waikaraka's had a really, really tough time this season. And crikey, no one knows it more than Nik and the times I've been there commentating. But they had a crane drop, and I hopefully there's a bit of footage about this because poor old I had the text line going.
Okay, when you say crane drop, it's not like a crane.
They don't drop a
falling
crane.
over.
No, they had a car that they dropped. Sorry, a car dropped from the crane.
Right.
The crane drops a
Is
car.
there,
And
is there any footage of
was-
inside of
Not inside it, no. no.
that? Wouldn't it?
You'd be kill your camera. But I think there is some footage, and okay, well, if you can put it up, they'll put it up there. And so you see that the L300 van became a convertible. And I mean, that was really cool. So we had those entertainment nights. I know it's not Speedway pure, proper, but I love them. I mean, the people were there. It was a really good crowd. It wasn't a sold-out, packed crowd, but it wouldn't have been far away. I know there was some people there from the last derby that they had, which got rained out. So that was there would have been, but there wasn't many seats left, I can promise you that. And it was a cracking night and a really good way for me to finish the season because the next weekend of Waikaraka is their last one, the King of the Park, and I'm down the line doing another race meet. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I just thought it was a really good time for you, Mr. Brown, because it's your first season at Waikaraka, and you've been around Speedway for a long time, but it's your first season with non-open wheel cars, with saloons, with mini stocks, with superstocks, stock cars, and the other classes that make up what Waikaraka has different over Western Springs. What's your takeaway of 2025, 2026?
I think you can't say Western Springs over Waikaraka anymore because that's not the argument. Waikaraka as a venue needs a lot of work, but there's a plan in place for that, and part one was putting the new track in. Personally, I think that was rushed. The last meeting I was at was the modifieds, the Superstock teams champs, which was brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But the track on the Saturday night was marginal. On the Sunday, it was drivable. But by the end of the racing, we were launching Superstocks into the air out of a lump in turn 3, which was still there, I believe, in the weekend.
Turn 3 was bad.
What I'm saying is the track prep and bedding it in has been rushed. I mean, what we needed was, dare I say it, a season off of the track, put in a decent track because it's a great service out there and it's going to be good, great racing. The whole thing, and everyone really does need to embrace this, the fact that we're not doing one versus the other. There are other racetracks in the country that can run open wheelers and stock cars, and they don't have a problem. I mean, Ruapuna. Woodford Glen, right across the country, there are racetracks that can do that. So why can't we have one in Auckland? Well, we actually can if you pull your heads out of your asses and get on with the job of racing. And all I'm saying is, need to prep the track first, get a good track, get some good racing. There you go, things done. So off season now, let's get it sorted.
And you remember too, at the start of the year, like we went to that first Waikaraka, test and tune, and you had like Luke Brown, you had Rodney Wood, you had all these like midget and sprint car drivers trying it for the first time, going, dude, this is fun. You know, this is cool. This is going to be a really cool place. And like you say, the fact that, I mean, obviously the development time and this is the thing, there's still more to do.
Yeah.
We're not, no one's saying that Waikaraka's finished, enjoy it, bye, see you later, we're off to go and, do nothing. But yeah, I mean, we've got this one more to get through. Over the off season, they know what they've got their plans.
Well,
they've got
hopefully
their
they've got their plans. Hopefully, someone at the city council has, because what I saw from the city council was they did that. Yeah, here's your stuff. We don't care. People are having to pay for it, so you should bloody care because it's our money. And what we would like is what you said we could have. So can you make sure it gets there, please?
I suppose
put in a bit of effort.
The thing is, are you happy as a ratepayer in Auckland to take $11 million, throw it in the rubbish and say, be gone with you. I don't want to know or do anything with you. But it's been spent on this on the facility. And one of the biggest complaints, or not complaints, I think it's fair criticism, to be honest. And they said that the track was actually really good until they brought it up to a safe level, which of course that fill had rocks and everything in it.
Yeah,
but they said the track was good up until then. I think they're right.
The track was good when the fill that came that was full of rubble. It needed to be taken out, and that's when, because it rained, 3 weekends in a row on there. So actually getting the track in and getting it prepped to that kind of level. And if we take something from Speedway 21 Speedway, right? Look at that track, the way that's come. But that's had years of prep to get it in there and get a good surface on there. At Waikaraka, it was dug up, it was relayed, packed down. We got a pretty good surface to open it up with, and it needed more material to come in. When the material came in, the material was crap. Then when it was sorted out, the weather was bad, so it never had the chance to be prepared properly.
Fair point.
Yeah?
Yep.
Because I'm a great believer in a really good track gives good racing, right? So there have been shortcuts. And part of that shortcut is because it was fast-tracked through from the people that just wiped their hands of it. And all those people that actually put in an effort, thank you so much. And I think next season will be a lot better, and we can get some good racing down there. And look forward to the next part of it, which is new stands coming in. And can I just say, if we're going to prep the track, can we prep everything on the track properly, like the infield, where the cars have to come off and the photographers are and the safety crews and that sort of thing? In the burnout pad, I dare say the big piles of wire and big hunks of metal weren't there, were they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's just all got to go. It's got to be safe out there. So if something does happen, safety crews can work on cars. We can make sure no one's injured out there. And so just make it look... You got a Rotorua. Rotorua looks brilliant.
Immaculate.
Beautifully prepared. Let's do that at Waikaraka Park, and suddenly you've got a great venue that people are going to want to come to. That's all I'm saying.
One more to go. King of the Park, and you did right. I mean, it was a good track surface up until bringing the level up, and they had to bring it up for safety reasons. That was the reason. They didn't actually think, we'll just leave it till the end of the season. I think that would have been probably beneficial. Yeah. But they had to bring it up and make it better. And I'm just, someone said to me on the weekend, on Sunday, they said, Saturday night was a goat track. And I went, yeah, it was a goat track. How did that go against Western Springs on an average night? And I wasn't being nasty. And I was just asking the question, and they were like, and it was all of that. And it was, I think there was nights, I didn't go to many Western Springs nights, and I'm not here to poo-poo Western Springs, but I didn't go to, but the ones I did go, that was a similar sort of track as I saw on Saturday night, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. So, I mean, but hey, you're the Speedway guru. Getting back to the presenting side of things, I mean, you had to learn about what a mini stock was. You're not stupid. It's a Kiwi kid with a Kiwi car with a little bit different. Stock cars are a whole different world. Superstocks are a whole different world. Then you've got saloons and super saloons. Then you've got the modifieds and the 6 and 8 shooters as well. So, I mean, plethora of learning for you. That was a massive learning curve.
Not so much. I mean, 6 shooters and LS
Sprint cars.
cars. They're pretty much based on sprint cars. I think the 6 shooters need a bit more headroom in the engine. Speedway New Zealand might be looking at doing that just so they get a bit of power, because they're not as exciting as they could be. LS1s, once the drivers get a bit more experience, and a really good example of that is Zach Sokol. He can throw those things around and have a hell of a lot of fun out there. And they're quite a lot of fun. And I'd like to see that embraced into when we have open wheel nights with midgets, F2s, wingless sprint cars, you know? Yeah, I think you could do that sort of thing. And that's about bringing the whole community together. I've really enjoyed learning about saloons, super saloons, modifieds, superstocks though, and what I got from Superstock Racing when I was out there, that's something else. Once you understand exactly how this thing works, it's not just crash and bash. There's tactics in there, and it's hilarious fun. And to all the teams that I've met and were gracious enough to give us some time on camera, it was a real good learning experience. I'm looking forward to more of that next season.
Well, superstocks are good.
What do you mean Superstocks are great?
Superstock teams racing is completely different, and that's the whole thing. I mean, you've got literally 6-figure cars there, and you know, I mean, the car I drove up in is 4 figures. I'd be happy with a 5-figure, but if I had a 6-figure car, I wouldn't do with it what these guys do, and they literally just take their don't care attitude, and it's like, I'm going to defend my team, and if I'm a blocker or if I'm a runner, I'm going to run come heck or high water. I'm going to do what I have to do, and they put themselves well and truly on the line. And for you to learn all about that and actually present, understanding that format, and I know you understand a lot more now, so next year you'll be way on the horse as far as, you know, superstock teams. I wouldn't be surprised if you're down in Palmy as well as here in Auckland.
Did I bore you with the story that I was talking to the Auckland All-Stars, and they said, you're going to have to come down to Palmy. And I've been invited along to a couple of club nights where they talk tactics about getting around. So guess what? I'm going to be heading down to Palmy.
We'll all have to try and make that one.
Just to catch what it's like and to catch the atmosphere of it, you know, because I thought that was great. So, yeah, I've had a great season. It's a shame we didn't have the same facilities we had at Western Springs, because I think we could have presented a better show. And particularly for the stock car guys, they really embraced and they really liked someone taking an interest in it and actually showing off what they've got. Because like you say, we're talking 6-figure cars. You know, snapshot, you look at a sprint car, you look at a superstock, which one do you think costs more?
Exactly.
Superstock does.
Easily.
Superstock does, yeah, because the engines are really high-class bits of machinery.
And from a personal point of view, my difference at Waikaraka Park, which I've never had before, was we had a headset with a microphone. We had a director in our ear, Mike Mathis, on days that you guys were there. We have him, you know, we were coordinating. They were coordinating the race meet, and it just really heightens it. Now, last weekend, the whole presentation wasn't there. They packed up for the season, which is a shame because it was a good season. It was a good night. It was an entertainment night. Really good crowd. I had a lot of people asking if there was a live stream, and you know, it just gives you that polished performance. And then having you down on the infield, I could see you there with the burnout cars and talking to the drivers and obviously the passenger there, Nathan and guys like that, and things like that. Would just, you know, I think there's something that was a little bit missed on that one, and I hope for the future that they think people want to watch a live stream of that. So we'll see.
Yeah, like I say, that's all a big learning curve for what it can be. Right, and like we can all see what it can be for both stock cars and open wheelers. It can be a really good venue, and that means we can go racing. So let's look for it coming up in the 2027 season and seeing if we can get, let's see, from March till October, October to March. That's where October to March. Pack every single weekend with racing at Waikaraka Park. Open wheel, stock cars. Let's get into it.
And the beautiful thing too is obviously we do still have 21 Speedway, which that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Yeah.
And of course the ongoing Western Springs. I mean, like Kerry Broker said when we talked to him, you know, in a perfect world, you would have the 3 Auckland tracks.
Yep.
Plus you can extend that radius to include, you know, other tracks around the North Island.
Kihi,
you know, ideally we want to have no shortage of places to race. You know, at the moment we have Waikaraka. We're about to have 21 Speedway.
Yep.
We would still really like to see Western Springs back. So there's so much going on, and that's just in the dirt track community.
And it's just about the what you can attract to it. If you get really good tracks like Waikaraka, if we prep the track correctly, we're going to get Americans wanting to run the super saloons over, Australians wanting to come over. The Brits, I've actually heard that there is a Dutch team that looking to come to do teams racing in New Zealand, but there you go. There's the opportunity there to make it work. And if we get Waikaraka as a good surface, you've got 21 Speedway. That's a great surface. Bay Park, we go to Huntley, we go to Kiki. And if Western Springs gets reinvigorated, then suddenly we have the jewel in the crown where you do all your top shows. That's where you race for $1 million, that sort of thing. So that's the sort of stuff that we could look forward to. So if we set a goal, then maybe we can all, if we all work together, we can achieve it. Wow, that was sounded
well said.
Yeah, thanks very much.
It's nearly 20 minutes about Waikaraka Park and about Speedway, but I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. That's passion and knowledge as well.
Quickly though, I want to touch on a couple of things. There was Formula One in Miami that nearly got rained off. Liam Lawson was out. There is talk. There is talk amongst a lot of people about how boring it was. Because one would pass the other and then one would come back. And they had all these updates that really didn't make that much difference.
Well, must have been last week. I think one of the FIA people came out and said that there's no such thing as fake overtaking. Overtaking is overtaking. Fair. There's no such, but with this whole battery,
but if
passing
you run
someone
out of power,
then passing someone because you've got 300 horsepower, 400 horsepower on them. But they've come out and said, no, there's no such thing as fake overtaking. This is fine. But I mean, like you say, the most memorable moments were the crashes.
Yeah. Speaking of battery power and that sort of thing, Formula E, there was a lot of comments about the Formula E, the opening laps. The drivers that ended up in the top 3 positions were lapping in the first race 8 seconds slower than the rest of the field because they were conserving battery power. That kind of, I mean, the outcome is great for them, but the concept of it suddenly looks not as interesting as it. Wow. Why not just give them enough power to race the snot out of the cars for 10 laps, then park them while they recharge, have a band on, and then have another race in the afternoon?
They've got that Generation 4 car coming out soon. I'm guessing it's a next year thing or later or earlier. So usual story with electric cars. This one will probably have longer range and it'll have more power and it can
can tow a boat.
Do you remember early days of Formula E where they had to literally swap cars because the batteries were that?
I forgot about that.
And it would still only be like a 15-lap race, and they still had to come in on lap 7 and swap cars, because the batteries just didn't do that. And they only did something like you do well to do 200 k's an hour. Now they can do they're lapping as fast as most other categories out there, so they have come a long way. But I mean, it is always funny when you sort of, and some would argue, is that just part of electric car racing versus petrol engine racing, is you're going to have to manage your battery.
Well, the next generation e-car, they're saying that the thing is actually so fast and so long ranged and durable, they're going to be pretty much doing away with all of their, one-off tracks.
One-off tracks. And what they'll do is they'll just have one track and they'll start racing in March and keep going till June.
Pretty much.
Just in one continuous, because the cars will be so... if you do like electric car racing, though, there's always... Do you remember slot cars?
Radio control.
Skeletrix, yeah.
But the Formula E cars are bigger. The new generation cars are bigger. And they said there's a track they have in England which actually comes into an inside section. And there's a whole seated area of people. Yep. Of course, no fumes to contend with. So they can, they'll sit there and they come around this particular corner and all these, people having their scones and their cup of teas are sitting there saying, "I say, well done." And they go through enough, they go back onto the made up track. And I don't think Formula E run on an actual known track, on a known...
They've run in Monaco.
They run their own hybrid tracks.
They run in Monaco, but it is a
hybrid track.
It is a chopped variant.
So the thing is, they don't actually have. You can't say that your Formula 3 car does this and a Formula E does this in comparative sort of lap times. But I think that with this new generation car, they've almost got enough in the tank to say, okay, now you can actually run at a full scale track. The things are capable of high 200s, nearly 300 kilometres an hour. These cars. These are the shizzle. So we'll see if that's something.
Can I just bring something into sharp focus here, Nathan?
Please do.
You stay with me on this.
No, I know where this is going.
We've just had the guy who is like the scourge of anything electric powered, who has been driving a Nissan Leaf and is now talking about how good Formula E is. I mean, I'm not saying that we bagged it. We were the ones that you bagged. You bagged us mercilessly.
This is facts. I'm talking the facts. I'm not saying I like it. Like you say about the regeneration of electricity and all the nonsense they go through. I'm just
you can't backtrack now.
I can. Well, look at Toyota Racing Series. They're in their 4th generation chassis as well, coming out very soon. That's the latest and greatest. It's going to be an awesome car. I don't know about size differential, but Formula E for credit. You're right. I mean, I was about to say, hey, look, I even got the Pascal Verlaine is actually the championship leader from Germany with 198
race too, is what we're saying.
And no, I just got the results. And Mitch Evans is 6 points behind in the drivers' championship, but I didn't realise that Nick Cassidy is on 176 points in 3rd. But those are just facts. But if they're going to go with they're going to do Formula One. They're going to go and make a much bigger car. They can't. What I was trying to say that where they go through the centre section of that inside stadium, the cars are too big. They can't use those cars. They can't use that track anymore once they go to this generation of cars. I've already said that.
Oh, okay. They've already said that.
It's the last time.
I was going to say, like with I'm pretty sure that London track that uses parts of like their old their Olympics buildings, the stadiums and stuff. And like you say, for an electric car with no emissions or no fume, what a great way to sort of repurpose those sorts of Olympic stadiums.
Just don't get too pro now. Now you're starting to sound waffly.
Just goes to show that when you break the facts down and that sort of thing, racing's racing.
Yeah.
How you get there. I mean, if it's pedal power, that's still acceptable.
If they can put a stock car track in the LA Coliseum, I think we can, Have you seen that track?
No.
All right, let's get to WRC. Hayden Paddon, or Little H as he likes to be called. Hayden's actually been called up to do Rally Japan, which is end of the month. And so another Tarsiel event, this time no snow. I don't think
now,
much snow.
I saw some complaints about this because everyone knows that Paddon's a gravel master. Yeah. Why are they putting him on all the asphalt and all the sealed surface rallies?
Yep.
Practice. Okay, this is just off the top of my head, fast thinking. What they're doing is they're saying, okay, he's king of the gravel, he's great. Put him in some asphalt stuff, competitive stuff, so his eyes are going to be on the prize. It's the best training you can get in competition.
If it was any lower discipline, I'd agree with you, but this is like WRC. This is the upper echelon. You don't want to be playing around doing R&D.
Just remember, though, it's fast. Tarsiel is really fast, WRC. I mean, and the guy is really good. Like, he's also had his hand in a little bit of circuit racing over the years. I mean, he can turn his hand to anything. I mean, remember, he started the season in the snow, in the horrible conditions, obviously, from the bogey track from what had happened many years ago. He finished that one without, I don't even really think much of a mark on the car. Just recently, Croatia gets a podium. Okay, fortuitous podium, but don't worry, a podium's a podium.
Well, that was,
yeah.
I mean, at the expense of another Hyundai
Yeah,
driver.
that's right. But the point of the matter is that he will be good on Tarsiel. He's very good on Tarsiel. So it's not like it's like if he'd gone to, and they say, okay, we'll pull you out on the snow Tarsiel one, like the first one. That's fine. I understand what you're going there. It's almost a recipe for failure, that first one this year, but he did well. He did well in Croatia, and I know he'll do well in Japan as well. But, like you say, a last-minute failure, anything can happen mechanically. But I don't hate this because I think Hyundai has seen something in Hayden. They're going, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not dogging, obviously, his tarmac ability. I mean, Monte Carlo, yes, he had some demons to slay there, and we have talked about that, and obviously that's all behind him now. Awesome. Croatia, it's a sealed rally, but it is a bit of a dusty sort of sealed, so I can sort of see why you'd want a bit of gravel knowledge in case there is a patch on the road or whatever. It's not a clean, like Japan's very clean.
Yeah.
The streets are clean and polished and
clean.
Very impeccable,
very
right?
Clean.
But because the guy who he's sharing the car with, apparently he's a tarmac master. So you've got the gravel guru on tarmac, and then you've got the tarmac champion on gravel. So like you say, maybe they're playing a bit of R&D there and trying to sort of expand their driver's skill set, and obviously the fact that it is a shared car, so championship position perhaps doesn't matter as much. Like you say, just focus on getting the R&D. I mean, he'd been out of the saddle for 8 years.
Yeah. What I'm feeling here is I'm feeling a big push for the next WRC, and Hayden Paddon will get a proper drive. And I certainly hope that's the case.
I think you're right. I think they're putting them through disciplines to see what he can do, and I think it's certainly not hurting their cause because he's giving them great results. And when you say he's been out of the saddle, he has from WRC, but let's not forget 2 times European Rally Champ, Australian Rally Champ last year, New Zealand Rally Champ in between all of those. Every time he was on the track, he'd win. I mean, I don't think it's even mechanical issues. Because the thing about Hayden too, we keep forgetting, he's not just a brilliant driver, and I'm not here to blow smoke up his bum, but
Sounds like it, though.
He's
You were doing that with Formula E already.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come back. But he's not just a great driver; he's a very good engineer, and he's the guy that literally on the side of the road. Who do you want to be driving your car that has a bent part that's likely to fix the darn thing and get it back? It makes me think of Colin McRae back in the 90s when they had that Subaru that bent arm. They pulled it off and used a rock to. Hayden's that guy. You know, he engineers top of the range Hyundais as well. It's not WRC spec, but not far away.
I guess my issue sort of, and this is just me personally, right, is I don't really keep tabs on WRC as a whole, so I don't really know what the story is as far as drivers in their career. You know, is Terry Neuville, is he sort of reaching the end of his career, and is there going to be a seat open up soon? You know, I mean, Terry rather famously was the one that replaced Paddon when he got the boot from Hyundai. Terry took over, and as far as I'm aware, he's been there ever since.
Yeah.
So is he reaching the end of his tenure where he goes, hey, look, I've had my fun, see you later. Suddenly they've got a spot opened up, and now it could be Hayden.
And Hayden's supposed to be finished. He's supposed to be done and dusted. Thanks for coming, see you later. 8 years, he comes back. Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. I mean, show me another example. I'm sure there is one. I'm not aware of it. And I mean, and John Kennard, again, I'm not bagging the man, but he's not a young man. And his body is just going through, through absolute torture from what happens in the rally car, in the WRC rally car.
He's got a special seat.
But for him, it's just another Thursday.
He's just a tough character. He's a tough character.
Well, that's it. He's a tough character. But I mean, the good thing about rally is it's not dependent on you just being a young buck. It's much more dependent on you being in touch with the motor vehicle and adaptable, because things change so dramatically and so quickly in WRC. It's that ability to think your way through it while you're doing it. That's the bit that really pays off.
On the circuit,
for that.
On the circuit, you're trying to better your lines, and maybe you'll save a tenth, maybe you'll save 2 tenths. On the rally, it's basically keep it pinned, don't hit the tree, and survive.
Oh, a minute ahead. Fantastic. Yep. All right. So we've covered rally, we've covered Formula One. Hooncorp eSport update, seeing as we've
we did the Spa. Well, I say we did, I didn't, but the team did the Spa 24 over the weekend.
Team is always a weekend.
It is always a weekend, but. Yeah, it was a joint venture with TTR, so Trash Talk Racing. They wanted to call it Trash Corp, but I was like, not too sure about that one. It did really well. They had, I think, 48, 49 cars start that particular split, because of course it's all split based on your ranking and your ratings and stuff. So we weren't exactly racing Max Verstappen, but there were still some I think they were split 5 out of like 30 odd. Just did really, really well. I think they were as high as P5 at one point. Ended up having a couple of tangles that obviously they had to go back and get some stuff fixed. Ended up P9, and then literally with a lap to go, they had to do a quick splash and dash, which dropped them to 10th. So,
well, that's not bad. Only
top
dropping
10,
a point with the splash and dash.
Yeah,
that's
top
good.
10. I mean, Nurburgring's one of those tracks, right? I can drive it. I can't race it. I don't understand how people memorize it, master it, run it. And of course, I say that now, having never actually raced seriously at Nurburgring before, but it's one of those tracks. It's just even the thought of beginning to learn something like that is daunting. And, for these guys to have come along and not only completed it, but actually, top 10, I mean, that's just phenomenal.
And a circuit has so many corners. Bathurst's got 22 corners, I think it is. Taupo's got 14. How many corners has Nürburgring got? It's got about 20-something kilometres of track.
Depends on, because, some people, you turn the steering wheel a little bit, that's a corner, but sometimes, obviously. So I believe it's around the 184 mark.
Wow.
I think officially there'll be some Wikipedia article that'll tell you. But
do I turn left or right at this one?
But we've got a few events coming up too. So obviously the Kid Buyers Racing League, that's coming to an end. We've got a race tomorrow, and then the finale at Adelaide next week. The Spa 24 Hours coming up, which GT3's at Spa. I'm actually quite keen to be involved in that one. We've got the 4 Hours of Thruxton, which is touring cars.
Well, just for a second though, 4 hours of Thruxton sounded like something you just don't want to do, doesn't it? Thruxton this weekend? Ooh, maybe not.
Maybe, especially in a front-wheel drive where, you've got to really work those fronts. But, so there's quite a few. Indy 500 this weekend, which I don't think Hooncorp's fronting any cars, but, that's still happening. There's a lot of special events in May and June. So, and also I think it's the Coca-Cola 600. So iRacing's actually gone. They're actually doing full length takes on some of the NASCAR events.
Okay.
One of them is the Coca-Cola 600.
All right, so that's something to look forward to.
Okay.
Yeah, so get involved. You know, if you've got a rig, you know, see if you can get out there and test yourself. See if you want to get in there, and then you could always upgrade to a real car, so to speak.
And I'll tell you what's not happening this weekend in the motorsport calendar is V8 Supercars, because they raced weeks ago at Christchurch. The cars have just landed back in Australia.
So this is the next race after Christchurch.
Yeah. They've only
weeks
just come back from New Zealand.
22nd, 24th.
The exact condition.
I didn't know the cars had to go through the Strait of Hormuz, but there you go.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I wonder about that. It's going to be like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I think, since Christchurch till the next race meet at Aussie in Tasmania. Is that too long? Is it? I mean, look, I understand the whole travel. I understand the sea freight. I get that. But I mean, these guys go back to the shop. The cars are turned around in days. You know, why aren't they racing this weekend? Why aren't they racing next weekend?
Was it always like this, though? I mean, when they used to race at Pukekohe, pretty sure there'd be like, they'd ship them out as fast as they could.
They used to air freight them.
Yeah,
and they used to air freight them. Now they sea freight them.
Right.
So... I don't know.
Well, maybe they should do, which boat is your car on, and then just do a boat. Who's going to get
V8 Superboat.
V8 Superboats. But yeah, that doesn't, because I seem to recall it used to be quicker than this.
Well, they used to also have more rounds, didn't they? So, but look, anyway, it is what it is. There's plenty of motorsport keeping us on our toes in the meanwhile. It's also Lemons this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Hampton.
That's the big one, the May Mayhem.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
I believe so.
That's going to be crazy. That is going to be
40, 50, 60 teams normally on that one, so it'll be interesting to see what the...
I remember the year that we had something like 90 odd. They actually had to do the gazebos out the back.
That's right.
That
the
was
easy ups.
Crazy though, wasn't
it?
That
was just...
The starting grid stayed on the starting grid and disappeared down. It was just, I've never seen that many cars on a track.
Rows of 4 cars.
And the end of the event, there was something like 70 cars still running.
Oh, something like that. It was still a bloody good number.
Phenomenal.
And the thing about it too is because there's such a variety of cars, obviously you have your breakout times and stuff. You're never the fastest and you're never the slowest. You're always going to pass somebody.
You can be the fastest, but
well,
we will penalise.
Many a dollar was passed to this character, and I'll tell you what, the times all of a sudden a 111 round Pookie around Hampton. I mean a 104,
a 111 round Pookie's a bit on the slow side.
111, it's not too bad. But that's on, and also NIERDC. Their first round is this Saturday at Taupo. They've got a slightly revised format. They're just going to be going for the 1 hour enduro to kick things off, and then.
Again?
I'll be down there, and then the following weekend is NZIGP, so looking forward to that one on the 16th and 17th. That is huge. That's a 2-dayer, and NIERDC could be good. Like NIERDC's a North Island Endurance Drivers Racing Club, and it's the best that they've got for endurance racing. It's we were talking about Lemons and that. Lemons are the worst they've got for endurance racing, and the teams have no clue and the cars are rubbish. But with NIERDC, it's completely the opposite. And I mean, that's what they say. That's what the selling point is with Lemons.
That's the appeal. That's
with
the fun.
NIERDC, you're talking the latest and greatest. I mean, GT3 cars, GT4 cars. I don't know what the numbers are at the moment, but I know it's all like usual. It's the last minute flurry, and there'll be a whole bunch of cars coming out there. And I go back to when it was actually the North Island Clubman's Endurance Series, and it was actually started by Northern Sports Car Club back in 1743.
Oh, right.
And it used to be Clubman's cars, and it sort of evolved from then on in the 2000s, in the 2010, 12. They allowed Porsches, and then that became a flurry to GT3, and that became what it is now. But back in the day,
slope, those Porsches.
Oh, we used to do this. The Pukekohe 6 hour, start at 2 on the Saturday afternoon and finish at 8 in the night. And it was so cool because you'd come down the front straight, turn 1 at night time, no markers. You just had to basically go. There was a little thing you had there, a little bit of paint on the.
See if you can remember where the corner
2
was.
seconds, turn right.
And you only got
couldn't see a thing.
You got 2 little headlights. None of these bloody light bars
weren't allowed
or
light
LEDs
bars.
or
weren't allowed spotlights. If you had driving lights, they were an advantage. You just had
the yellow 90s style headlights.
Yeah, and you'd come down the front straight, which was lit. And then you'd go around turn 1, which was sort of lit, and that's where you lost it. And then after that, it was in the back straight was just gosh, I love those days. So NIERDC is cool, and it's a starter for their season as well. Then they go to Hampton Downs, Manfield after that one. So there's a lot happening for all of the guys and girls from the not so much money's cars to the it does be 6-figure cars, some of these, and even then some. So looking forward to that one. But the NZIGP coming up for their season finale on the 16th and 17th. They've got 2 1-hour races, one on the Saturday, one on the Sunday. OK Cup are doing a 1 hour, and the TA2s are doing a 1 hour.
The
So there's a week or two.
TA2s?
There's still a couple, eh?
The TA2s are doing
The
a 1 hour.
TA2s are doing a 1 hour.
Because they normally only do like
It's
sort of
like
12 lap races.
Breaking news. It's a 1 hour for the TA2s. And I mean,
Who's going to run out of brakes?
I was going to say, who's going to run out of fuel? 'Cause
tyres.
They wouldn't do.
Yeah.
They've only got like tiny little fuel bladders, I thought,
have
because
to
the
change
races are
that,
so
surely.
short.
So a whole lot of things to find out. But I went through and had a quick look at the entries. Anyone can do it on the NZIGP website. Mate, they've got some entries already. It's massive. The BMWs are going to be there. A plethora of BMWs across all of the
Using that
BMW
word
classes.
Plethora.
And,
But do you see just how much motorsport can flourish when all these clubs and all these groups work together?
Yep.
You know, the fact that they can all collaborate on a meeting and actually put together some decent grids, get the cars that are there or thereabouts speed-wise, run them in the same grid. We don't need to do the whole, you know, you're in a 6-cylinder, I'm in an 8-cylinder, we need to be on different grids. If your lap times are there or thereabouts, you can make a bloody good meeting out of it.
the 2-day race meeting, heaps of really cool classes. And I don't know what the entry fees are. They'll be reasonable. They'll be a few bucks. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, and like you say, the V8 Utes running with the New Zealand 6s again for that round. And, I mean, when you're seeing those two, you know, they start literally line of steering 5 seconds now between them.
Yeah.
I mean, what
they started off really
fantastic
segregated,
thing.
then they realised actually they're actually a lot more dead even than we thought.
So there's plenty more to come for that one, and of course we'll cover that one next week on the coming ups as well for NZIGP, and I'll be there at Hampton finishing out their season, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this whole circus. You know, it really is a cool one. The Ringmaster is like, it's just a group that's put together a fantastic thing, and all of the you know the things I've got, the classes I've got, it's so inclusive. I don't think there's a car you couldn't run there. You know, there's pretty much everything covered with the open wheel cars, the sports cars, then all the classic cars.
There is one thing I saw this in the weekend, talking of open wheelers and getting back to Speedway. It was a sprint car on a circuit.
Yes.
They put a big right rear on the left side so it was balanced so it could turn right and left, and it was stupidly fast in a straight line. Not so hot in the corners because you know, you can't change down. It doesn't have a gearbox.
They've only got like 2 wheels that have brakes on them.
Yeah, and when it was turning left, of course, the wing loaded up and she was a rocket ship around there. But I just thought to myself, and this is just off the top of my head, because in the States they do have asphalt races.
Sprint cars.
Yeah, but they race on an oval. But I'm just wondering if anyone out there's got an old sprint car chassis knocking around. What's the possibility of us putting together something we could throw on a track? Maybe throw on a 3-speed or 3-speed behind it and just thunder around some tracks, because it'd be hilarious fun, wouldn't it?
It's not a sprint car, but I talked to Ryan Turner about that.
Oh, so Ryan will do it. Ryan will do it in his modified. He's mad as a hatter, guarantee. I can just about say, yep, it'll happen. But I'm interested about the wing and how that would be worked. Is there such a thing as a neutral wing? Because you'd have it one way or another.
Yep.
And, there is. Okay.
What you do is you just put in one big wing across the top and it would just hold it down to the straights, because you'd want to try and stop to get it around corners.
And you'd have to have balanced brakes, surely, another brake on the other side.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to have... Oh, shit, I hadn't thought of that.
See, look, these guys are out here cooking up some more terrible ideas. But anyway, that's all the time we've got for this week on the Trackside Lounge. Thanks for watching. And, usual story, like and subscribe. And we'll see what these guys cook up next week.